Hi everyone, my name is Monique Apodaca, and this is my introduction video for AEP 858 Data Analysis. So to begin with, some things about me. I was born and raised in the town that I still live in today, and it is Pueblo West, Colorado. It is located in southern Colorado. And here's some pictures up top. We're outside of a larger city, kind of around the county of this city. So we are more of a retirement town, I'd call it. We do have some people that have farms and horses and ranches, but we also have businesses and a main street here. So we have a city feel, but it's wider, more countryside. So again, I was born and raised in Pueblo West, Colorado. I attended elementary school and middle school and high school in the district that I currently teach in. And I also attended college in the inner city of Pueblo. And I attended CSU Pueblo and received my Bachelor of Science degree in Liberal Studies. Technically, at CSU Pueblo, you can't major in education, and so I minored in education and had my bachelor's in liberal studies. So again, I teach in the district that I've grown up in, here in Pueblo West, Colorado, literally about 3 minutes from my house. I teach in District 70 at a charter school named Swallows Charter Academy. We are a K through 12 school that was established in the late 90s, early 2000s. This is my third year teaching elementary school. The past 2 years, including last year when we got cut short, I've taught third grade, which I also did my student teaching here at Swallows. So I kind of just merged into a job here. And then this year, actually, they moved me to fourth grade, which was very nice because I got to loop with my third graders that we missed the last 3 months last year. So it was pretty nice that I got to keep most of my same students as they moved on to being in fourth grade. It's very interesting because I'm having to learn a brand new curriculum and pretty much start from the ground up because no fourth grade teachers have worked out here before. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but I think I'm getting the job done and it's going well. And also, for my first year teaching fourth grade, I am figuring out how to teach it online. So Swallows Charter Academy gave parents the option, because we are a charter school, we make our own decisions. We gave parents the option to send their kids back in person or online school, and they got to make their decision at their discretion. So I am teaching 24 fourth graders online, and my counterparts in the building, 2 of them, they are each teaching 24 fourth graders in person. So it was very nice how it was split all across the board, and I feel much better now that we are in our second quarter with how online school is going for my students. Swallows Charter Academy also received what is called the BEST grant in 2019. So this BEST grant supplies schools with up to, I believe, $20 million to update their facilities and anything else needed to make their school run better. We tried for 6 years to get that grant, and we finally received it in 2019. So we decided to spend our $20 million creating a brand new building. This building actually opened in August of 2020, so coming back from our 5 months away from school, we came back to a brand new building, and it is beautiful. It really helps because everything is disinfected, everything is clean, it's brand new, it's state-of-the-art, and I think our students that chose to go in person are very much enjoying their new playground, their new classrooms. It was the best time to finish this brand new school. So I have 2 running lists of goals here because both are very important to me. I've listed here my professional goals as a person and my personal goals as a person. So professionally, I hope to and will graduate from Fort Hays State University with my Master's of Science in Education Administration. And this is actually my second to last semester. So in May of next year, 2021, I should achieve that goal of graduating with my master's. Following that, I did get my teaching degree for a reason. I do love teaching very much. So within the next 5 to 7 years, there's no rush, it could be longer than that, but at least 5 to 7 years from now, I hope to become an assistant principal, just to gain that leadership experience. I don't want to get in over my head by becoming a principal right off the bat, so I hope that I will spend a few years as an assistant principal, and then moving into a principal position maybe a few years later. 3 to 5 years after the fact, it would kind of just be based on how I feel about that assistant principal position. As for my personal goals, I'm very excited and I've been saving very hard, and I'm hoping at middle of next year, 2021, maybe the end of next year, that I will be ready to buy my own house, or at least begin building a house. I'd like to build a house, but obviously the world is kind of crazy right now. So I figured I'd give it some time, and that is my personal goal for the next year or two. Here in the blue box, I put, I want to become an educational leader, because number one, I'd like to make an impact on a larger group of students. Now I know with this, I won't make a close impact with a lot more students like a teacher would, but I will be able to make an impact on a larger number of students. I can see more students, I can build a lot more relationships with more students. And number two, I would really like to take on the day-to-day operations of an administrator. I've obviously shadowed some administrators with our hours for our master's degrees, and I very much enjoy those day-to-day operations that an administrator holds. Next slide, how does SCA, so the school I teach at, Swallows, analyze and use data for instructional purposes? So first, I analyze the types of data that we use at Swallows. 3 times per year, we do the following things. So we do this at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end of the year. We used to utilize NWEA testing, and this tests students on math, reading, and language usage. We actually turned away from that this year as we started using iReady and using their diagnostics. That way we're able to help those students that are testing lower and close any of the gaps that were created because of the quarantine. So iReady tests just like NWEA would, but you are also able to assign assignments to them to complete to try to close that gap. So it's all built into one. I think it is working so much better than NWEA has for us in the past. Our middle schoolers still use NWEA as well as our high schoolers, still 3 times a year. And finally, 3 times a year, we do dibbles and days testing. So this is the literacy test for elementary students K through 5. We test them on their fluency, their comprehension, their vocabulary usage. And all of those things come together, and you later on figure out how we analyze that data. And then obviously once per year is the PSAT, SAT test for the high school students. And we also do COGAT testing in 2nd grade, which is to determine any students that are gifted in any subjects. As for analyzing data, we analyze data once per year. I think we should do it more often, but we do each of these once per year. So at the beginning of the year, we have a data day. We are lucky enough not to work on Fridays, so our data day falls on a Friday, and we meet with our teammates and specialists to observe the data from our iReady diagnostics and our dibbles and days tests. As for the end of the year, we have a collaboration day, which again we meet with our teammates and specialists to discuss the data at the end of the year. As for the use of data, we use NWEA and the iReady diagnostics to tier students in the classroom. So split them into groups where they should be leveled, just for daily instruction. As for dibbles and days testing, again, that's the literacy test. So this tiers students for RTI intervention as well as GT programs, giving them that implemented help if they need it, or that extended help if they need more of a challenge. COGAT testing, again, is for the GT test. And then finally, we also use our data to create our Unified Improvement Plan, which is required by the Colorado Department of Education, and we also have to get this approved by the district as well. And this analyzes all the types of data into one big report. My personal knowledge and use of data for instructional purposes, I try to do this daily, and I think we do this daily as teachers without even thinking about it. So for math, I often give progress quizzes throughout our math units to make sure students are understanding concepts, and if they aren't, that's where small group intervention comes in. Now online, I have to do this more individually than small group because of privacy reasons, but it works the same. And then, of course, if close to the entire class did not understand something, then I will reteach as well. As for the other core subjects, such as language arts, spelling, we have science, social studies curriculum, usually I tend to use small group intervention more than anything, and reteaching and extra practice pages as well for any of those concepts that they're not understanding as a whole class. So my plan with this course, data analysis, is to number one, I would love to learn to involve my students when analyzing their data. I would like them to know if they're growing or falling behind, and maybe have them be able to take their own part in analyzing their data, charts, or any way that they can get involved with their own scores. Number two, I would like to learn the best methods for organizing whole class data as well as individual data. Sometimes it just feels like a whole clump of papers and I don't know exactly what's best to do with those. Finally, number three, I last year helped create the Unified Improvement Plan for Swallows Charter Academy, the one that gets turned into the Colorado Department of Education. I helped with that in order to get hours for this program, but I hope also that I will continue to help create that at the start of this year. Thank you.